this down a little bit. There. So give it a little bit of a tilt. That's what I'm kind of going for. See if it tilts. This is the front. You know, here, let's do this. This is the front. And this is just pencil. You don't have to pencil this end. Or you can if you want to, so if you get kind of goofed up where the front is when you're carving. I'll just put that in because I'm sure that is shift, change, or otherwise. Okay, excuse me, do another one of these. And another, let me get back to work. Now the recess is over. I hope this table, rocking table, I'm not making too much noise with the table. The other thing that I use too, I think I'm using the knife now. Some of my others, when I began, I use a large tool. This is like a number 5. Number 5 is, 3 is almost flat, and of course 0 is flat. And 7 has still have a scoop. 5 is perfect. And the thing is now I am sure I am coming towards me, but I'm not, my arm isn't up here pushing, I'm doing this. The thing here is that the only thing that I get hurt by is this kind of a thing. Every once in a while I'll get that tip in there. And then that's why I wear a separate glove in this hand. Usually it's a used glove. When this glove is used, I'll use the other one. I think this is my first video with this kind of a glove. I usually have my yellow glove with white spot or black spots. I happened to get this one. Somebody was selling a lot of these for cheap. I think my father passed on. That's one good thing about being with a wood carving club is, you know, when somebody passes or whatever, well, you can't be thinking of yourself when somebody passes away, but you get they'll bring their stuff in, and so I thought I'd give this glove a try, and so far I'm okay with it. I wonder how am I doing in the picture? How am I doing with the shadow? Can I, if I move this way just a bit? Let me see. There's the tip of the. Okay. Okay, that should be take away some of the shadows. That's all right. Let's. Because of that, let's do a assessment here. There's the front. Just rounding out. There's still a lot to round out, so especially at the bottom. I'll kind of preliminarily put in the loop at the bottom. Probably not too perfect, because I want to make sure how. Like I said, the face is always one of the first things you want to put in. The first detail, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I've gone all the way around. I'll just round this off a little and take that off like that. Again, this is the front. Think of the curly cue. Now we can put a pencil in, but right now I want to get this rounded because I got more than enough wood. Way more than enough wood, so we don't have to pencil anything in. Let's get the saw marks off. Again, maybe we should have done the bottom too because of the grain, but that's all right. Because I like to. That's when you really need it to be super sharp. Is on top. Just rounding. Now since I know that the curly cue is gonna shrink, let's put this in. Therefore we can kind of push this in a little bit. Not too much. And you can decide which way you want it to go later on. You want to go in, out, or actually in front or back is what I'm trying to say. So you can see the curl is starting to shape up. What we'll have to do, I'll take the saw mark off, but what we'll have to do, my end, we're going to be getting in there. But I don't want to do that now because see all that wood you got to cut out. Here I'd rather get to know what I'm doing, or get to know how narrow this is, so then I won't have to dig out something that I later on will be cutting out anyways. Okay, without beginning to shape it, let's just leave that at that. I think I would want to clean before I go. Take out the saw marks, round a little more. On the side, still rounding a little bit, but I think I'll round. I don't care for it to be perfectly round. It's a little square right now. I'll finish that later, because after I put the details in, then where is he? There he is. After I put the detail in, then we'll worry more about rounding. And of course, the best part about this, the rounding is the most important. Probably rounding is around the hat. Is probably the most important. The beard, I've always said, beard is always imperfect. So if you goof up, well, put a dent in the beard, you can say you did it, you intentionally did it for the sake of caricature. Excuse me. But then you can always go around it, or the wind had caught it at that moment, or whatever. Okay. This is a good time to start in on the face. Now I have done the face, I don't know how many times. I'll still do this pretty slow here. Or as slow as I can, but what do I want? Pencil time. I want, let's bring the hat up a little bit. If I brought the hat up a little bit on this one here. So obviously, since it's bigger, and it depends on what you want. I mean, some have this really high, this high hat here before it comes down, or they just have it not too high. I'm just going to do this. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. Now, here's what I'm doing. Since this is going to be tilted this way, we're going to do a little something extra here. I want to tilt this just a little bit. Either that, or let me think on a second here. Do I want to keep it straight? Because then you can always put the pin, if you wanted to bend it this way or bend it this way. We'll think about rounding off a little later here. I mean, the one I got there, it's kind of relatively straight down. I think I did have a little, maybe tried to put a little tilt in it, but since this is an ornament, that you can put the eye screw in and a certain way. I think I might want to put just a little bit of tilt in that. No, I'll just bring this down. Keep this here. Let's put a little bit of tilt into it. Now, I do want to put a tilt back. Did I neglect that? I think I did neglect that. Sorry about that. That's a good thing about pencils. You just keep marking. And you could see that, yeah, I too can, I think I got it and then I don't got it. I mean, I've been carving, I don't know how many carvings have I done, thousands and thousands and thousands of carvings, and still I screw up here and there. I want to put that, now I want to put that in with my V tool. So it separates the hat from the face, and then we'll get right on the face and we'll come back to the hat. Oops, carefully don't bury the edges or the sides of the tool, otherwise you'll rip stuff out of there. Nice, there you are. And we'll take, I'm going to do a nice stop cut. But now when you do a stop cut like this, and I'm putting a lot of power in the carving, make sure you rotate, because you always carve down, not across. If you carve across, then this will fly, your finger's in the way, your pants leg is in the way. And even though I could feel it slipping. That's why I want to be cautious. Get the finger out of the way. And just so we're separating the head from the face. And what's going to happen, I mean, I'm just doing this as a tool to separate the face from the top, from the hat. What's probably going to happen is I'm even going to make the hat be a little thinner, and that's going to go away, and we just have to do it all over again. That's one thing about carving it out, is you may have to just chip and then look at it and then chip in another direction and then chip in another direction. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do what you're going to do is, there's the eye line. The eye line is always the middle of the face. So if we're carving like a Native American or a bald man or something with no beard, that's the center, that's the top of the head, that's the bottom of the head. The nose is, realistically, the nose is 1/3 down, and then 1/3 to the bottom of the lip, and then 1/3 to the chin, and there's 3/3 here. But I like to have lots more for the nose. 2 reasons. One, because this is wood. If you goof up, you can always take away. I mean, if it's too long, you can always take away. But this being a caricature, it is fine that especially this being a Santa, the nose is big is acceptable. Okay, we start here. And a lot of you who have seen my videos will notice that I did skip a step, didn't I? What we want to do, now don't judge me now, what we wanted to do before we carve that is we want to get this center line here, and we want to get this in almost a 90-degree angle fold up. Come up 45, go down 45 equals 90 degrees. Oops, I forgot. That's because you guys are watching me. I'm nervous because I'm being watched. But that's not how it's done. I can hear some of you just, wait, what are you doing? Now, here is going to be about, instead of a 90 degree, it's probably going to be a good 75 degree. Let's see if you go this way. Is that a 90? If this straight down, is that straight? No, that's not 90. It's good enough. Here, let me see the camera. What's a good angle like there? If it's like that, even if it's narrower than that, you don't want to get it too sharp in that, because we want to put the ears in. We're going to put ears in this one. Add the extra. I think the ears. I don't know about you. Does the ears add to it? I don't know. I think it does. And what I do is very simple ears. It's not realistic, overly realistic, but it's based on some of the realistic ism of an ear. Let's put this back in. Now that feels better. I knew when I was putting it in, something's not right. Okay, there's your little, what do you want to call it, jack-o'-lantern. Now, for those who've done chip carving and for those who understand chip carving, hopefully you all understand chip carving. We're going to chip carve them out. Chip carving is like you take your knife at an angle, 1, 2 at an angle in, and then 3, and it's like this pyramid. The upside down pyramid will pop out, and then you have a upside down pyramid valley, as it were, but they're all pointing to one spot. This particular spot, we're going to point to the eyeball, actually. You know what, I want to white this a little bit. That's our target when we start these first 3 chips. Now, I'm right-handed. Now, I believe if you look at your hand with the knife in that, I know it's kind of hard with the camera, is I don't cut straight down. I cut like this. And I think it's the same thing in reverse with left-handers. But the rule still applies. We want to, remember this nose is a pyramid. We want to make it like a pyramid. So we want to cut away from it towards the eye. And then since this spot in the eye, this is the deepest part of the face, with the exception of the mouth, but we're not going to have a mouth. The deepest part of the face is right at the bridge of the nose because the eyeball is round and the nose goes in, it goes in like that. So therefore you're going to cut away from the nose towards the eyeball. And you're going to cut deep. And then you're going to pull it, careful pull, and you're pulling up. So you're going deep, shallow, 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 because you don't want the chef to have a scar unless he's screwed up and the cleaver went in the wrong direction. But here's in reverse. We're going to go shallow and then deeper, deeper, deeper. See, it's away. Can I do that? Away from the nose, away from the eyebrow, pointing towards the eye. Now this, I'm going to do this third chip. This is actually, we're preparing 2 chips. Now this one here, again towards that, and this is kind of a medium cut. Not too deep, not too shallow. Okay. Well, we got this upside down. Whenever you want to keep your knife going in the same direction, therefore you move the carving around. You don't anchor down when you cut a block out on your bandsaw. You don't anchor down the wood and you move the saw around. Well, actually, this is it's the other way around. The saw is anchored. Since the saw is the tool, is anchored. No, it is the right way. You move the wood goes moving around. So therefore, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Take your knife away from the nose, because this is going to be a pyramid. So it's away from the nose towards the eyeball, and again, but in reverse, you're going to start shallow, and you go deeper, 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 stop. Away from the nose. Same with the eye, away from the eyebrow. That's what I should have said last time. And you're going to start. See, I got to see, make sure you see. Now here's deep, and then shallow. But when I do this shallow, slow down because you don't want to go fast and hit your thumb. And then this one here, it's a shallow cut, just a regular cut. Okay, now we're going to finish the chips. We're actually going to two chips out. One is the third. See, we got one going this way. We got one going this way. Now we're going to go in reverse, and now we are going to go towards the nose, away from the eye, to finish the third cut on this chip. And again, shallow, and you make sure your knife is going in towards the nose this time, but not in the nose that you're going to take the nose off. Think about, you're going to meet that cut. That's all you're going to do. You're not going to just keep going until the nose comes off. You want to meet that cut. So, I mean, if this was, instead of this wood, you can't see through it. If this was like clear plastic, you would see where that cut is. And you'd just go right up to it. And here you're going to go deeper, deeper, deeper. And then shallow, shallow, shallow. Shallow coming up. All right. And you'll notice sometimes that does not pop out. That's about 80% of the times it pops out for me. This time it doesn't. So what you're going to do not take and pry with your knife, for heaven's sakes. You'll break the tip, you'll break the nose, you'll break everything. Come back again a second time. I think right here is where it's stuck. There we go. Now it should pop right off. Let's see how that is. Let me just do a little clean here. And the thing is I did this almost in one cut. I mean, in fact, I'll probably have to come back again and clean it and go deeper and deeper. This is just to set the eye and the nose in. And if you did this in which you can cut just a little bit and a little bit more and a little bit more until you get to this spot, you don't have to worry about it doing it all in one shot. Now here's the one that's going to be a little difficult. This cut here, because it's not really going to come out clean. But it's going to set, it's going to chip, and then you'll know what to do after that. Okay, see, I'll take my knife right at the eye line. Parallel the eye line. Bring it back like it's a rubber binders are on it. Just pull it back. Then dig down. Just turn it at an angle like I can cut. Just a little bit of an angle, and you're going to cut down, down. Keep that parallel, down, and as soon as you hit the eye line with your knife, you can see it with the. Oh, you see, I did scrape the nose a little bit there, and you stop. Now, when you come back, it's loose, but we want to cut to the eye line. And again, you got it deep. It's got to be deep here and shallow here. It is going to be a little deeper later on the side, but that's later on. And that should pop out.